Shalom, shalom. Want to give honor and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. This is another quick call from AHMATHYA, right? And we're going to talk about the fifth seal, right? You know, what's going to happen in the fifth seal, okay, when Jacob trouble come in, right? Right now we're in the fourth seal, right? Let's go through some precepts, all right? Let's go to Revelation 6 and 8. This Revelation 6 and 8. And I looked at, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed it with him. And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beast of the earth, right? Meaning the time that we are living in, right, is the fourth seal, right? And this is the time of a great death, wars, massive shooting, massive casualty, bombs dropping, invasion, seditions, right? Civil unrest, right? And we are in that fourth seal right now, right? Because what's that? Right now as we speak, Pakistan and India, they about to go to war, right? So this is the time of the fourth seal, right? So let's go into the fifth seal, right? This is Revelation 6 and 9. And when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the soul of them that were slain for the word of Yahweh and for the testimony which they held, right? Meaning this is the time of Jacob trouble, right? The fifth seal, right? That we will be persecuted for the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the word, right? And you will be slain for the word of Yahweh, right? So when that fifth fifth seal come in, right? Because we got to drink of that cup, right? All right, then Yahweh shall drink up that cup, okay, right? And so, you know, Zebedee, the mother of Zebedee, you know, was that James and John, right? The sons of thunder, right? Right? She's, you know, these scriptures written for our learning, right? Let me get a quick precept, all right? Let me go to this. This is Romans 15 and 4. Such things were written in the scripture long ago to teach us, right? The scripture was written long time ago to teach us, right? And the scriptures giving us hope and encouragement as we wait patiently for God promised to be fulfilled, right? So these scriptures are written for our learning, for our forefathers and foremothers did right, and what our forefathers and foremothers did wrong, right? And these scriptures are written for our learning, right? You know, for this book is for, you know, for correction, instruction, right? Okay, all right, let's go to Matthew 20 and 20. Okay, like I say, the woman of the Zebedee children, right? James and John. Let's give this count, because we got to drink of this cup too, right? These scriptures written for our learning. This is Matthew 20 and 20. Then came to him the mother of Zebedee children with her sons, worshiping him and discern a certain thing of him, right? That's James and John, the sons of thunder, right? Verse 21, and he said unto her, what wilt thou? She said unto him, grant that these my two sons may sit, the one on thy right hand and the other on the left in thy kingdom. Man, she didn't know what it mean, right? Verse 22. But Yahushua answered it and said, ye know not what ye ask. Are ye able to drink of the cup that I shall drink of, and to be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with, right? So in this cup is trial, tribulation, affliction, death, being mocked, persecution. That's what's in that cup, okay? Right? Verse 23, and he said unto them, ye shall drink indeed of my cup, and be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with. But to sit on my right hand and on my left is not mine to give, but it shall be given to them for whom it is prepared of my Father, right? So we have to drink out of that cup and get afflicted or spit it on, put to death, being mocked it, right? So we got to go through that. We're going to have to drink that same cup, okay? Right? So let's get a precept that Yahweh had to go through it, right? That's why I said, went to Romans 15:4. These scriptures are written for our learning, right? Because we got to go through that. We got to drink of that cup, okay? Let's Matthew 26 and start with 65. Start with 65. Then the high priest rent his clothes, saying, he has spoken blasphemy. What further need have we of witness? Behold, now ye have heard his blasphemy. Meaning, there's false witness on Yahushua. There's false witness on Yahushua, right? Verse 66, what think ye? They answered it and said, he is guilty of death. Verse 67, then did they spit in his face and buffeted him, and others smote him with palms of their hands, right? So they spit it on him. They kept, they was hitting on Yahushua repeatedly, right? So let's go to Matthew 27 and start with 28. Matthew 27:28. And they stripped him and put on him a scarlet robe, right? Verse 29. And when they had plaited a crown of thorns, they put it upon his head, and a reed in his right hand, and they bowed the knee before him and mocked at him, saying, Hail, King of the Jews. Verse 30, and they spit upon him and took the reed and smote him on the head, right? So they hit Yahushua in the head, right? 31, and after that they mocked at him. They took the robe off from him and put his own raiment on him and led him away to crucify him, right? So he got crucified, okay? Right? He got mocked it, spitted on, okay? Beaten the head, okay? Right? So what you think was going to happen to us? So we gotta let's go to some accounts, okay? Because this is what these devils thinking, how they gonna think. All right, let's go to Wisdom Solomon 2, and I'm gonna start with verse 17. This Wisdom Psalm 2 and 17, right? Let us see, let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of him. Meaning you are getting jammed up by these devils, right? And they want to see if it's true and want to test us what's going to happen in the book, right? Verse 18. For if the just man be the son of God, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemies, right? Meaning they told Yahushua that if you be the son of man of the Most High, and they are going to try us the same way, right? Verse 19, let us examine him with despitefulness and torture, that we may know his meekness and prove his patience, right? Verse 20, let us condemn him with a shameful death, for by his own sin he shall be respected. Verse 21, such things they did imagine and were deceived, for their own wickedness had blinded them, right? Meaning the Lord said these devils are going to be saying, let us examine him with despitefulness and torture, right? And that means affliction, pain on someone to make them do or say something, and they want us to denounce the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, right? By torturing us with pain, and we have to go through the pain, right? So we're gonna have to go through that pain, right? We're gonna have to go through this pain, y'all, right? So let's go to another count. Okay, what's the 7 sons and the Maccabees? The second Maccabees, I think that's 7 and 7 chapter, right? They had to go through this pain. See, these scriptures are written for our learning. This is what we're gonna have to go through in Jacob trouble, okay? Right? We're gonna get tried through the fire, right? Okay. Let's go 2 Maccabees 7, and I'm start with verse 1. This 2 Maccabees 7 and 1. It came to pass also that 7 brethren with their mother were taken and compelled by the king against the law to take swine flesh, and were tormented with scourges and whips. Verse 2. But one of them that spake first said, thus, what wouldest thou ask or learn of us, we are ready to die rather than to transgress the law of our fathers, right? So that's what we got. That's how we got to think. We rather die than eat that pork. When they got us in them FEMA camps, whatever, right? Your mind said you rather die to transgress the laws of the Most High. Okay, right? Verse 3. Then the king, being enraged, commanded pans and cauldrons to be made hot, right? Meaning that's going to be intimidating, right? And them Edomites are going to be lighting them things in front of you, or sharpening their sword, or having fire going on, etc., while they have you, right? So that's going to be very intimidating. But we got to stay strong in the faith, okay? Right? Verse 4. Which forthwith of being heated, and he commanded to cut out the tongue of him that spake first, and to cut off the utmost part of his body, the rest of his brethren and his mother looking on, right? Meaning they can bring your brother in the room, kind of intimidate, or your son or daughter, etc., and they are saying to you, enough is enough, and don't want to die in this thing, right? And it will start playing mind games on you, and the flesh is going to be painful enough, and your flesh and mind is going to be at war with each other, right? And Satan is going to jump on your mind and say that is enough, or jump on your brother or son and say that is enough, to get you to think the Lord is pleased, but it is Satan, right? Because Satan going to do that. Satan is going to say, hey, that's good enough, that's enough. No, don't y'all let that play in y'all mind, okay? Man, y'all got, hey, some of us gonna get put to death for this truth, okay? Right? Wait a minute. Did it please the Most High to torture his son? Let's go to it. Isaiah 53 and verse 10. Yet it pleased the Lord to bruise him. He had put him to grief. When thou shalt make his soul an offering for sin, he shall see his seed. He shall prolong his days, and the pleasure of the Lord shall prosper in his hand. Right. So it pleases the Lord to bruise him. So it's going to please the Lord to bruise us. Okay. Remember Romans 15:4. These scriptures are written for our learning. So don't let Satan plague in your head. All right. No, the Most High is you done enough. You know, because Satan gonna jump on your brother, your sister, your wife, your kids, and say, hey, that's enough, that's enough. You thinking it's your kid. No, you got to see through the spirit. That's Satan trying to get you to, you know what I'm saying, denounce the Most High. All right? Right. So, let's go back to it. Okay, let's go to 2 Maccabees 7 and 5. 2 Maccabees 7 and verse 5, right? All right, the 2 Maccabees 7 and 5. Now when he was thus maimed in his members, he commanded him, being yet alive, to be brought to the fire, and to be fried in the pan. And as the vapor of the pan was for a good space dispersed it, they exhorted one another with the mother to die manfully, saying thus, right? Meaning maimed it in all his member. They probably cut off his feet or fingers, tongue, right? And that depends on your lot, right? That the Lord have for you in your cup, right? And we have to exhort one another in that day when we are in the FEMA camp. So, for example, a brother, we in a FEMA camp, and they taking that brother out, you know what I'm saying? So I got comfort for that brother. I just can't just be in there just looking at him, just seeing him getting dragged, okay, by his arm, by his head, or by his leg, or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? I gotta say something. I say, hey brother, think about Sirach 2 and 1. You know what I mean? Loosely paraphrasing. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Right. So you got to throw some scriptures at the brother, you know what I'm saying? Or sister. Okay. You sister's going to be in there too. Okay. Right. And vice versa. They dragging me. Throw me some scriptures. You know what I'm saying? Right. So we got to exhort each other in that day. All right. Okay. So, right. So let's get another, let's get another count, okay? Cause the Most High he gonna put us through that fire, right? You know, they're gonna take certain of us, right? You know, feed us with idols, you know, right? Things that offer up to idols, you know what I'm saying? So let's go to some counts, more counts, right? Let's go to 2nd Esdras 16. Verse, I'm gonna start with. I want 16 in verse. I'm gonna start with 68. All right. The 2nd Esdras 16, 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. Right? Meaning these are the Edomites and his burning wrath that he is in the office thinking about how to destroy the Israelites in every state, right? In the country. And they shall take away certain of you, and they going to kick down your door in the middle of the night and take you away and throw a black bag over your face and put you in a van, right? And take you to a FEMA camp and feed you being idle, meaning constrained against your will, handcuffed with things offered unto idols, meaning they are going to get you to indulge in sin against your will and make you eat that pork or you will die, right? Verse 69, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in a reproach, slunky, and trodden underfoot, right? And they that consent, meaning you are getting down with it, right? And eating the pork, and you are consenting to it and getting weak, trodden underfoot, meaning you will get killed by the Most High by consenting and eating that pork and being weak, right? Verse 70. For there shall be in every place and in the next city a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord, right? Shall be in every place, meaning every city. Insurrection meaning a rebellion against the government, right? Verse 71. They shall be like mad men, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord, right? They are going to be like mad men, right? Meaning right now, when you get pulled over by them Edomites, and they will kind of let you get away with it, right? And give you a warning. And in those days, you are not going to get any warning. And they are going to bring in a highly trained military personnel, and they are aimed to kill with headshots. And they will be like mad men, sparing none, and destroying those that fear the Lord, right? Verse 72. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses, right? Meaning all you brothers that have stocked it up, all of your goods and all of your spaghettis, beans, rice, etc. But they are going to kick down your doors and spoil your goods and take it and hit you in the back of your head, right? Okay, right. So this is what we're looking for right here, verse 73. All right, we endure to the end, right? This is verse 73. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried, should be tried as the gold in the fire, right? Meaning what we just read, what the brother and Maccabees are experiencing right now, right? But in the ancient way, instead of rifle, they came with staffs and swords, right? And instead of kicking your door down at 3 a.m., and they busted down and made you eat pork, and instead of handcuffs of metal, and they tie you up with ropes. And these are the days that the brothers have to deal with. So these things are going to be manifest themselves on the earth, this time sevenfold, right? The Most High is going to know who his chosen is going to be in that day, right? They got to endure, okay? Because when this fifth seal, when Jacob trouble jump off, right? Hey, we can't be scared. We can't be like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Well, that's what you got to write the precepts down, okay? Because when they start kicking down the doors, you'll be know what to do, okay? All right, this is Jacob trouble. All right, this is the test. This is what we got to go through, right? But if you ain't writing the precepts down and knowing what's going on, right, then you're going to get caught out there, okay? Right? Because, like I say, Romans 15:4, these scriptures are written for our learning, right? Okay? Then Yahushua told, well, it was Judas, right? But he was talking to Satan. You know what I'm saying? Thou doest quickly. I don't want to butcher it. Let me just go to the scripture. Okay. That's John 13:27. I'm gonna start at 26. Okay. That's John 13:26. Yahushua answered, He it is to whom I shall give a salt when I have dipped it. And when he had dipped it, the salt, he gave it to Judas Iscariot, the son of Simon, right? Verse 27. And after the salt, Satan entered it into him. Then said Yahushua unto him, thou doest, do it quickly. Right. So these scriptures are written for our learning. So that's when Jacob trouble jump off. That's what y'all got to remember, these scriptures. You know what I'm saying? John 13:27. Okay. That thou doest, do it quickly. Right. If we want the kingdom of heaven, okay, we want slaves, dominion. This is what we got to go through. Okay. So we got to have that mindset. As soon as Jacob's trouble jump off, we got to remember these scriptures. John 13:27. That thou doest, do it quickly. Okay. Right. Another thing, you brothers and sisters, okay, y'all ain't got y'all fringes on. Y'all want to wear fringes on the feast days or a dress on the feast days, okay, and don't have your fringes, or your brothers, y'all just, hey, man, y'all got, you know, if y'all worrying about what your family members gonna say or whatever, I mean, are you ashamed of them? Are you ashamed of the Most High? Let me get a scripture. Okay. Let's mark. I'm on 8:38. Let's mark 8:38. Whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and of my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, of him also shall the Son of Man be ashamed when he cometh in the glory of his Father with the holy angel. So he said, you're ashamed of me, I'm ashamed of you. Are you ashamed of his words? Okay. Now, if you scared, you worry about not having your fringes on, worrying about your families or your peers, okay, or what the world think. When what you think is going to happen when Jacob trouble jump off? You're going to throw them fringes away so quick. All right, you're going to burn them. You're going to throw them in the trash. Okay. You came in the truth. You was saying you was a Hebrew Israelite, tribe of Gad, tribe of Issachar, Judah, Simeon, Ephraim, Levi, Benjamin. But if you ain't running your fringes, you ain't getting built up. You weren't worrying about what somebody gonna say. What's gonna happen in Jacob's trouble? You gonna forget all about that Hebrew Israelite. You're gonna say, I'm American black. I'm Mexican. I'm Guatemala. I'm Native American. Okay, I'm Puerto Rican. I'm Jamaican. All right, Haitian, etc., etc. Okay, put on your fringes. Can't be worrying about what people going to say, right? So, like I say, write these precepts down. Okay, right? Because, you know, going to the prophecy, going to Isaiah 19 chapter, you go to 2nd Ezra 16 chapter, 2nd Ezra 15 chapter, 2nd Ezra 9 chapter, Matthew the 24th chapter. I think I'm missing one, couple, Slocky, right? Because like I said, we're in the 4th seal right now. When the 5th seal jump off, when it come, you gotta be ready. You gotta be ready. That's the only way we're gonna get the kingdom of heaven. Okay, we got to go through this. This not your Christian thinking they serving God and thinking, you know, he coming back. Oh, sweet baby Jesus coming back for the. We got to prove ourselves in this thing, right? Anyway, ain't want to make this long. Hey, another thing. Y'all need to be watching, okay? Y'all need to be watching. Y'all need to get on X, okay? Better known as Twitter, right? How y'all know? Y'all got to be watching these prophecies, okay? Right? You know, you got to look up End Games World War III. So that's End Games WW3, okay? Then they got the Brick News, okay? Then they got End Time Headlines, Okay, you got Iran observers. Okay, and I think I'm missing a couple of, but I'm gonna post it on my channel. All right, so y'all need to go to X and follow these channels. All right, for y'all can know what's going on. All right, because they're not gonna show this on your local news. All right, y'all gotta be watched. Y'all gotta be watchmen in this thing. Okay, you gotta watch what's going on in the world and try to link it up with the precepts. Okay, all right. All right, if you can't think of 3 precepts when you see something, at least 1 precept, okay? It should be 1 precept when you see the prophecy, something going on, all right? You should be able to think of 1 precept, all right? But anyway, so you know when Jacob Trouble's going to hit when that 5th seal, all right? Okay, when they start coming and kicking down doors, okay? Looking for you Israelites, all right? But anyway, I didn't want to make this long, all right? This is another quick call from AHMATHYA. I want to give honor and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Shalom.